this weekend's trip up to Durham?
I'm really excited. I've never been to Duke. I've heard a lot about it. Really excited to just kind of see what it's all about. I think it's a great opportunity for us. They're playing really well. You wouldn't know that by looking at the score of the Florida State game, but you cut on the film, they're doing a lot of really good things. So it's a great challenge for us, and we're excited about the opportunity.
You know, the football atmosphere there is a lot different than the basketball atmosphere.
Right. Yeah. It is known as a basketball school, but as I said, they're changing that. Coach Cutcliffe's done an unbelievable job over there, and their offense is really rolling, and that whole program is really changing. And I think it'll be a force to reckon with here in the future.
What do you feel like they are doing well on the defense and defensive line?
I'm sorry.
What do you feel like they're doing well on the defense and defensive line?
They're very well coached. They do a lot of movement and a lot of games, just twists and stuff inside to try to get some one-on-one matchups and create, some space on the edge. They got a very athletic defensive end. I think he was leading the ACC in sacks before he got hurt, and he's still very active, a little banged up. So we're going to have our work cut out for us.
Are you, Dabo talked about how the offensive line has come along. I mean, when you step back and think, 10 weeks ago, whenever August camp began, have you noticed the improvement either when playing in a game or stepping back and looking at the film afterward, or what improvement have you noticed?
It's tough. I mean, I feel like there's a lot left to improve upon. We're still not where we want to be. We're getting better, but we're still making mistakes we shouldn't be making. And you got to give a lot of credit to our opposition, because they're doing a lot of things to try to confuse us, and they know we're young, and they know we're going to make some mistakes here and there if they bring a lot of pressure. But for us, it's about just correcting the things we can correct, and that's the little things as far as technique and fundamentals. And if we continue to do that, I think by the end of the year we'll be pretty good.
But do you think it's come along a little bit, though?
Yeah, we've definitely improved. I mean, from the start of camp to where we are now, I'm very impressed with the progress. But as I said, it's still the little things that are keeping us from being, an average offensive line to a pretty good offensive.
As someone who's a communications major, can you appreciate the banter going back and forth between the two head coaches?
This is the first time I've stayed out of it. I started to read the article, and I exited out of it. I didn't even want to know about it. And, I've enjoyed it in the past, but right now it's all about trying to focus on Duke and our team. I'm not trying to get involved in any of that other stuff.
Dalton, what makes you feel confident, or what's different this year after 8 games than from a year ago when things began to get a little crazy at the end of the season?
I think the maturity of this team is a lot different, and also our schedule set up a lot better this year as far as we were at the halfway point. We were able to have a weekend off, play 2 games, 12 days, or whatever it was. That was a challenge, but then we were able to have another weekend off to recover. And now we're really set up, and we feel pretty good about being healthy and composed for our home stretch. Whereas last year, I think we played 8 or 9 games before we had an open week. And, we were just kind of young and inexperienced to keep positions, and we weren't really able to kind of hold on and finish the way we wanted to. So I think the schedule really helps us in that experience of the maturity of this team really helps.
Dalton, is that something you guys talk about? It's like remind yourselves, hey, last year we went through this, let's not do it again.
It's one of those things you remind yourself about, but you don't harp on it too much. Obviously, we try to learn from our mistakes and grow, but at the same time, this is a totally different team. It's a totally different year. We're set up completely different from our last 3 games at home after we finished this one up at Duke. And, we just really feel confident about this year and what we're trying to accomplish this year.
You mentioned some of the things you're working on the offensive line. Is one of them maybe being more physical between tackles? That an aspect you're working on going forward?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big emphasis the entire spring and the entire summer going into camp was converting on 3rd and short, and we've done a pretty good job of that and being physical. Surprisingly, a lot of teams are starting to load the box and really stop the run and kind of play us man on the outside. And that's why you're able to see us take some shots over the top of Wake. And Duke probably plays more man cover 1 than anybody we've seen, a lot like Virginia Tech did. So, if those opportunities are on the outsides, we'll take them. We're not going to be foolish and try to run the ball with 10 people in the box.
Dalton, have you ever put your finger on why things changed last year, why you guys were so good and at the end just kind of struggled?
I mean, I honestly think it was just we were so young and just kind of we got burned out a little bit. Some of our younger guys just had never been through the grind of a season, and we're here all spring, going through mat drills and workout, and then we get to the summer, and we're here from May until December. And it's a long, grueling process. And for our young guys, they've never gone through it. And, you know, they just weren't sure how to mentally handle it. I think that's what the biggest difference was.